Another very important consideration when it comes to locational decision making and factories and manufacturing centers is transportation. That's right, moving things from one place to another. What forms of transportation are available in the place that you are thinking about locating your factory? Where are the raw materials for whatever it is that you're going to create coming from? So, for example, if you're going to create textiles, clothing, where is the cotton coming from? Where is the wool coming from? Where is the nylon coming from? And how easy is it to move these things around and get them to where you need them? Or if you have a steel factory, where is the iron ore coming from? What is the energy source and is it reliable? Where is the water coming from? And do you have the right sorts of transportation to move these bulky things around? Where is the market for your final product? Is it right outside the factory doors or is it halfway around the world? And does the final product require fast shipping or slow shipping? In other words, do you need to get it there yesterday or can you get it there in 6 months? Those things all matter also. So, if you're going to move something by ship, this is the slowest but the cheapest way to do it. You can see by looking at those things, they're behemoths, monsters, gargantuan. They can hold lots and lots of stuff, but they're not fast. But they can move bulky items very easily. What about trains? Well, trains are used for longer hauls across continents of usually kind of bulky items. They're slow loading, but they move efficiently, and departures generally on a time schedule, so you know when things are going to leave and when they're going to arrive, at least more or less. What about trucks? Well, this is good for shorter distances and quicker delivery. They can be loaded and unloaded very quickly and with very specific items, unlike a train or a ship. And the time schedule doesn't necessarily rely on other products. Can leave in the middle of the night, can leave in the middle of the day, or any time in between those things. And then air transportation is, of course, the most expensive, but it's also the fastest. So this is really good if something has to be delivered quickly or it has an important spoilage rate that indicates it has to go now. One of the things you have to consider with transportation, though, is what's known as a break-of-bulk point. So break-of-bulk points are any place where goods in transit must be transferred from one form of transportation to another. That's a lot of ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. And you can see I was stumbling on this. So any place where goods in transit have to be transferred from one form of transportation to another. This is things like, for example, ports or rail yards or airports. Now, why are these important things to consider? Just think about it. If cars or iPhones or clothing come into the port on one of those big ships, that's not the place you sell them from. You're going to unload the ship, put them onto a truck or a train, and then transport them. That's what break-of-bulk point is about. Taking things off of one form of transportation and putting it onto another form of transportation. The reason they matter is because that costs money. You have to pay for that labor that's going to transfer the goods from one form of transportation to another. And that, of course, increases costs.